How are you doing? I'm Tom, and today we're at the range to talk about how to choose your first handgun. Now this is the second video in the series on firearms for personal protection. And truthfully, I didn't think I'd be doing any videos on firearms for personal protection here at the Simple Living channel. But hey, these are unusual times. And I've been getting so many questions about this from so many of you, plus just friends and family asking about this. And I'm going through this at home because Mrs. Rivers decided to get her concealed weapons permit. So today we're going to dive into how to pick your first handgun. Now there are so many factors to take into consideration when choosing your first handgun that it can seem overwhelming. All right, and what's even worse is those of us that do know a little about firearms, we can make things confusing because we get really carried away with all of the details. All right, so when we try to explain things to somebody that's just new to firearms, it can be difficult. And poor Mrs. Rivers, she's finding that out. And fortunately, getting to explain some of this to her has made me realize just how complicated I can make things. So I'm going to try to make this simple. And I'm not going to go into every detail. So those of you that are into, handguns, hey, don't hate me because I skipped some stuff. I'm just trying to hit the basics here and give someone that's looking for their first handgun a place to start. All right. Now, with that said, your first big decision is going to be whether to get a semi-automatic or a revolver. And that's a big choice to make. All right, so let's talk about the difference between them. The semi-automatic, and I'm a revolver fan, so it hurts to say this, but a semi-automatic is better than a revolver in just about every way there is. It's mechanically more reliable. And I know there's some revolver fans that argue that, but it's true. You've got a higher capacity generally. In other words, it holds more bullets, and sometimes a lot more bullets. It's easier to reload. It's easier to conceal for your concealed carry. It's more comfortable to carry concealed, and you generally just have more carry options. And usually for a quality handgun, semi-automatics are cheaper. So again, they're better in just about every way, except for one. And that's ease of use. And that one little difference, that one little area where revolvers shine, that's huge. All right, we've got our paper targets up because we all know how threatening paper targets can be. I mean, we're in danger of a severe paper cut at any second now. So we need to eliminate that threat. Okay. First up, the revolver. All right, not a great shot, but hey, that would have stopped the threat. Next up, semi-automatic. Oh, wait a minute, something's wrong. Time out, hold on. Oh, I left the safety on, excuse me, the decocker. Okay, all right, let's do this again. Okay, time to eliminate our threat. Revolver. Okay. Semi-auto. Oh, wait a minute. Well, what's wrong now? I forgot to put a bullet in the chamber. Bob wanted to look at my pistol this morning, and I cleared it, and you know, I always put one in the chamber, but I forgot to today for some reason. Okay, do over. Let's do this again. All right. Okay. All right, well, we're ready this time, okay? So let's do this again. All right, revolver. Okay, semi-automatic. All right. Oops. Okay, do over again. I call do over. All right, one more time. Well, we're gonna get this right this time. Okay, revolver. All right, semi-automatic. All right, you see, a semi-auto is better in every way, except for that one, ease of use. Now, this semi-automatic didn't malfunction at any point during all of that. So it is mechanically more reliable. But there's more to go wrong here. There's the human factor. All right, there's more for me to mess up. A semi-automatic is a wonderful, capable tool of handling just about anything you need to do. But it takes a lot more time to truly master it. And you need to master it, or you're going to run into the problems I just ran into. That's why, I'm going to say that the overwhelming majority of you should be looking at a revolver. And it's because of that ease of use. Your next big decision to make is the cartridge and the size of the handgun. All right, this is where it starts to get complicated. So I'm not going to go into all of the different details, but basically it's the larger, more powerful the cartridge is, the less accurate you're going to be able to shoot it as a new shooter, and the less comfortable it's going to be because you're going to have more recoil. And similarly with the size of the handgun itself, the smaller and lighter the handgun, the more recoil you're going to get. So the less accurate you're going to be, and the less comfortable it's going to be shooting it. That's why I would recommend for your first handgun, you get either, for a revolver, a full size or mid size 357 Magnum, and only shoot 38 specials in it. And I would say something with a 3-inch barrel, maybe 4 inches, but 3-inch barrel would probably be about right. And for a semi-automatic, if you decide to go that route, I would suggest a full-size semi-automatic handgun in 9mm. And this is a Beretta 92 FS. It's a full-size handgun in 9mm. Wonderful gun to shoot. This 38 is a mid-size, and it's not a very good one, to be honest. And it's not a lot of fun to shoot. It serves its purpose, but nothing I look forward to shooting. Okay, there are exceptions to this though. All right, the downside to having a full-size semi-auto or a full-size or mid-size revolver is size. And that's what everybody struggles with handguns. Portability versus ease of use, comfort shooting, accuracy. All right, the smaller it is, the easier it is to carry. The larger it is, the easier it is to shoot, and the more accurate you're going to be with it. Okay, so everything I just said, we're going to throw some exceptions in here. If you plan on getting your concealed carry permit, this is not the easiest, most comfortable gun to conceal. Right, same thing for even a mid-size revolver. So you're going to need to do some research specifically on thoughts on concealed carry. And keep this in mind, if you're going to go the concealed carry route, everybody I know that does concealed carry, they have multiple handguns, and they're always struggling to find that balance between, you know, shootability and ease of carry. One of my closest friends, he was just saying the other day that pistol A that he has, it shoots so well, he loves shooting it, and it's so accurate. But pistol B, which is smaller and lighter, it doesn't shoot near as well, it's near as accurate, but he loves carrying it. And he's always trying to find that balance. So be prepared if you go concealed carry. You're always going to be trying to find that balance, and you're always going to be struggling with it. But, you know, it's part of it. In my case, I don't conceal carry. So therefore, carrying a full-size semi-automatic is no problem for me. All right, next consideration. Where are you going to keep this, your handgun? Okay, for instance, if you're going to keep it in your glove box of your vehicle or in your console in your vehicle, assuming that's legal in your state, which it is mine, you need to make sure it fits in the glove box or the console. If you get a handgun that's too large to fit there, and that was your plan to carry it there, that's not good. So just think about that. You want to make sure, you know, it isn't too big. Okay. Next consideration. For those of you, especially you ladies, or some of you guys, you know, smaller in stature, or maybe you have, you know, some grip issues, carpal tunnel, tendonitis, things like that. I mean, a whole host of issues. Okay, first of all, you need to think about the size in relation to your hands. Okay, this Beretta is on the large size, and as I'm holding this, okay, if you look, as I grip this, I've got a little space right here between my trigger finger and the handgun. All right, and I don't have a lot of space here because, I mean, I've got, I'm going to say average hands, but this is a large handgun, so this is a handful. If my hands were any smaller, this gun would be too big for me. So if you've got small hands, you need to check that when you're at the counter looking and make sure you can grip it comfortably and that you've got just a little bit of space here. Next thing, all right, with a semi-automatic, you've got to be able to pull the slide back. Okay, a lot of you might not have the strength to do it, especially you ladies. Mrs. River, she couldn't pull the slide back on this. All right, so we would never get her one of these. Some are easier to pull slide back on than others on semi-autos, but that is another advantage of the Revolver is there's no slide to pull back. I recommended 38 and 9mm because they're just the most common. I mean, the ammo's easy to get. There's a lot of options as far as handguns chambered in those. For a new shooter that doesn't know a lot about the different cartridges, those two are just, they're simple. Okay, what I'm going to talk about now is not as simple. This 38 right here is not a very good 38. It's cheap and poorly made, but it is reliable. Okay, and it has served its purpose. I bought this just to keep in the nightstand, and I picked this up 25 years ago. Mrs. River did not enjoy shooting this. Okay, for that reason, I'm probably going to get her something smaller than a 38. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of very common choices smaller than a 38. In her case, I'm going to get her a 327 Federal Magnum, a handgun chambered in that cartridge. Well, there aren't many handguns chambered in that cartridge. They're hard to find. That ammunition is hard to find. The reason I'm going to do that, though, 327 Federal Magnum itself is an extremely powerful cartridge. But there are a lot of older cartridges, legacy cartridges, that can be used in that same revolver. Just like you can use 38 special in a 357, you can use 32 short, 32 long, and 32 H&R Magnum in a 327 Federal Magnum. But then you run into, you know, all the problems of availability and finding a handgun in that and so forth. If you're really worried about recoil though, that is an option. In Mrs. Rivers' case, we're going to get her something in 32 long. Low recoil, but still enough power. And once you get into the smaller cartridges, you get into less recoil, but unfortunately the handguns tend to get smaller also. So what you gain by having, as far as reducing recoil, what you gain by having a less powerful cartridge, you lose in having a smaller, lightweight handgun. All right, so that's something you need to watch out for. Okay, I think we covered the basics here on choosing your first handgun. And I skipped over a lot, but this was just the basics. And if you got anything from this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't give me a thumbs up, let YouTube know you like shooting and hunting videos. And if you want to see any future videos in this series, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. God bless and have a good day.